Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Sheik. We got a short week ahead, and I just wanted to go over some tickers here with you guys. Let you know what I'm watching and what levels I'm looking for. We'll start with SPY. As you can see, we kind of headed up to this 444 weekly level, 444.5, 444 point, 20. Rejected there, came back down and closed under 440, which is a huge psychological level. Obviously, we'll see how tomorrow opens, but I am looking for a pullback here on SPY because let's bring up our fibs. I want to show you what I'm exactly seeing here. So usually when price drops like this, like we had in this bear market when we started up right here, you want to take the fib from around the high to the low, swing high to the swing low. As you can see, this is our golden pocket here. Usually price likes to retrace and test those levels. So we are rejected. What I'd like to see is for us to come back and retest this 432 area, 430. If we can come here and hold this, we can see our next leg up. But what I want to see is a healthy pullback to these levels before we, reach another leg up. And if we do end up breaking these levels, we have 425, 426 on the weekly, and then 421, 422. Sorry. But what I'm looking for this week is obviously a pullback to start. So I'm pretty bearish on this week. If we do end up breaking this 444 right here, 444.2, then obviously we're going to be running up to the next level, which looks like it's around 447. I'd say around there, 448. That's what I want to see. But I do think we are bearish this week. We're going to go see 436, 432, 430 possibly to get a healthy pullback. But that's what I'm looking at for SPY. So if we break 444 here, we'll see a push up again, possibly to 447, 448, maybe 450. But since it's a short week, I do think we see a sell-off and we see a pullback. Of course, join us in the morning on voice chat to get exact entries and exits. But I'm going to look at a few other stocks. Nvidia, we all know Nvidia has been running very hard. Broke out of another bull flag here last week. As you can see, broke out. Now we're at all-time highs. There's really no levels above here, so I would just look at price action. I want to see a pullback to maybe here to 430 before we get another leg up. I'm not getting any puts on Nvidia unless we break some major levels like maybe 421, 410 area. But that's right now. If we can break above 430 again, I'd start taking calls to 437. Break above that, obviously, we use psychological levels and just kind of see where we're headed with all-time highs. But I do want to see some more pullback on it before we jump in. This candle to end Friday wasn't great. It's pretty bearish. So we can see, maybe a continuation back down to maybe here 421. Below that, I'd say 411. So what I'm looking for is puts under this 425 level, calls above 432 around there. So those are the levels I'm looking for Nvidia. Now, as far as other tickers, let's look at IWM, which has been on fire. We had a nice little run for the past couple days, actually a couple weeks, 3 weeks of green. We ran up to this big level right here of 189. We pulled back. It's an inverted hammer. We'll see what happens when we open tomorrow. But if we can get a pullback to 180 for another leg up, great. If we can break this 189, see it's going to maybe 192 and then to 195. Keep an eye on this. It's been very, very bullish on this. Small caps are running, so I do want to see some more continuation on this name. So I'll be looking at calls on this mainly. I don't think I want to play puts on this. I'm more looking at a break above 188, 189 to get into some calls. Next up, I want to look at Tesla. We've been loving Tesla. We've had an insane run on Tesla the past few weeks. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of straight green. What happened here is we went and filled this gap that we left right here, about 265, and we rejected slightly. Not a hard rejection. So I'm still looking at calls here. I want to see a break of 265, basically, right here, about right here, where that candle, that high hit last on Friday. If we break that, we could probably see around 275, maybe 272 right here, around here. Above that, it's about 283, 289. Anything above 289, I'm saying we're going to see the psychological 300, and then 315. So these are the levels I'm looking for. I'm not looking for puts unless we break below this 245, 247 area. If we break below this, we go test this 242, and then below that, we'll probably go fill this gap of 235. So that's my game plan on Tesla. A break under, I'd say, 256. We'll see a push down to 248. A break above 265, we can see a push to 272 and above. Neo, really love this name lately. Technicals are great. As you can see, his gigantic wedge on the daily broke out the past few weeks. It's been breaking out slowly. And then this past week, we got a huge candle. We rejected here at 10.20. What I'd like to see is calls above that candlestick, above that high, right here, 1024, push to maybe 1077, and then I'd say we're gonna see about 1250. I don't see really too many levels in between there. Maybe 1186, smaller levels. Under 9, we probably go back down and test 8. So I'd look out for calls over 1025, puts under 9. But as of right now, I'm still bullish because we did break out of this gigantic wedge that we were coming down on. We can see some continuation as small caps continue pumping. Even though Neo had some bad earnings, it's been following along kind of with Tesla, just breaking out as a small cap name with all the other small caps going to. Let's see here. I really like AMD. AMD is kind of stuck in this little range. What I like to do in these situations is I draw fibs from the swing low to swing high. Sorry, let's redo that. Swing low, swing high. Basically, we're basically in this golden pocket that I love. I would look for calls in here. As you can see, the next level, if we can hold 119, I'd say we push back up to about 124. Right here, 124. After that, I'd say about 125.5, 127. If we happen to break under this 119 area, 119.27, right here, we're probably gonna head back down to 117, 118. Anything below this level right here, around 116, 115, we'll probably go fill this gap of 108. But as long as chips stay bullish, along with NVIDIA, see AMD pushing to all-time highs. It's one of the only semiconductor tickers that hasn't touched all-time high yet, with NVIDIA and I believe LRCX and a few others hitting their all-time highs. We can see a push in AMD. I really like calls on this. We'll have a bargain. We'll be getting in kind of before its next leg up. But we do want to see an ultimate break of this 132 up here for us to continue up to all-time highs, which would we probably see 140 and above. To have a run like NVIDIA has had, we want to see that break. Next up, I want to look at some other names here. Google. Google right here is kind of in a range here, as you can see, between 120 and about 130, I'd say. I honestly wouldn't touch this unless we break this low right here, 120 for puts, and about 127, 128 for calls. Looks like it's kind of ranging here, consolidating for that next leg up. But I am pretty bullish as tech has just been running. But like I said, my levels right here would be around here, around here. Other names I'm looking at, Baba. we did play this a little bit last week. As you can see, we've kind of been on a breakout of this wedge right here. We had a breakout, gap up, pullback, a big pullback. I believe this was some news that came out in China. That's why we pulled back. Obviously looking for calls. Puts below 91.5, calls above, puts below this level right here, calls above this level, 94.5. We can probably see, 95.5. I'd say 97, and then possibly 99 right here. That's what I'm looking at. If we break below this, we'll probably go touch this, and the next level would be under there. So here are your levels for BABA. Let's check out Shopify. Shopify, here it is, guys. This right here, basically a small little flag right here on a daily. We broke out. We retested. The trend line kept going up. I'd like to see calls above, 66 right here and puts below 63. And then ultimate break of 67.5. We could see a major run up back to about 70, I'd say 71. This looks really good for a pullback right here. If we can come back down here and test 64, I would love calls for the next leg up. Let's see, what else looks good right now? Coin, it's still kind of, it's kind of choppy here because of all the crypto news that's been going on. What I'd like to see is for us to fill this little gap right here, up to 58.75. Above that, we could probably see the 63.79, 55, 56, around there. It's kind of stuck in this little chop, as you guys can see, between these two levels, between 55.81 and 52. So I'd look for calls above, above this candlestick wick, about 56.5, to maybe this level right here. As long as we get some good news on crypto, which looks like we got some good news on it. But main ones I'm looking at: Tesla, as usual, SPY, and Nvidia, AMD. Sorry, guys. Intel, another chip stock that's been running heavy. I know DP loves this stock. He has it long term. We had this gigantic bullish candle last week. Usually when we have candles like this, we'll see some continuation. So if I look at my daily chart, we broke above this 36 level. This is pretty big, 36.6 around here. I'd like to see a tiny pullback, maybe back to 35.8, 36 area. If we can break up above 36 right here, or hold this line right here, this psychological line, we can see another push up to fill this gap that's been left from, looks like last year from earnings. So I'd like to see a push above 37.71 to go fill this gap at 40. So keep this on your watch list. Intel, it's had a huge run. I could see a continuation going with all the chips flying out of control. I'd keep an eye on this for calls. Okay, I think that's about it, guys. Those are the ones I reviewed. Like I said, my top watches are Tesla, Nvidia, SPY, obviously, AMD, and Intel. So join us in the morning for some live voice chat. We'll be taking trades live.